My work lies squarely at the intersection of health and human rights because there are so many questions and problems in research design and research policies that I feel have gotten insufficient attention from the perspective of laypersons. I think it's critically important to inform laypersons of developments that have not been well publicized, where there's been very little transparency that directly affect their decision whether to participate in research and also you know, um, affect directly their access to healthcare. My most recent book, Carte Blanche, deals with the erosion of informed consent, which is happening in an escalating manner and utterly without transparency in this country. I don't think my work has changed so much as a lot of topics that I've always seen as interconnected have coalesced during the pandemic. It's now clearer to most of us that there are things that are closely connected that we are not in the habit of looking at as being connected. I think the more salient example is the medical fate of people of color during this pandemic. It actually is following a predictable pattern, but a pattern that seems to have caught the healthcare system in this country off guard, which it shouldn't have. So I linked together the erosion of human rights in medical research, the resulting distrust among enclaves of people of color, increase in violence, which by psychological studies have shown is related to xenophobia engendered by stranger infections, and a host of other elements, including research issues in the developing world, where a lack of oversight has permitted a great deal of offenses and crimes against people of the developing world. But these crimes are often rationalized by arguments that I see being applied in this country now. So it really has not changed my work, but it has focused it and has, I think, made a lot of these connections apparent that weren't apparent before. Our healthcare system is an untrustworthy one, unfortunately, and we have amply documented already many ways in which people of color tend to bear the brunt of that untrustworthiness. In some areas, we need additional studies, I think, to refine and pinpoint the issue. In other areas, we've already amply documented the problem. It's time to look at changing the policies that are perpetuating these healthcare disparities. For example, we often talk about additional education and training, but I'm not sure that that's not sufficient, frankly. We look at, for example, pain studies, which have been showing consistently that African Americans tend to have their pain undertreated and to be dismissed as drug seeking. So we know this. And yet the response is often more education, more training, more care around implicit bias. I think it's time for us to look at penalties that both reward and punish healthcare providers and healthcare systems that are not able to practice medicine in an acceptable way. If your institution or if you personally cannot document that you are treating your patients equally despite race, there need to be penalties for that, penalties that mean something to the people and to the institutions that are perpetrating it. It's a quality control issue as well as an ethical issue. So I think that healthcare providers who are not able to do that should not be allowed to finish their residency program, should not be allowed to advance in the system. Institutions that can't do that should have greater oversight of their IRBs, should be barred from certain types of government grants. We need to institute meaningful penalties as well as rewards for doing the right thing. We're talking about simple good practice here. We're not talking about offering some kind of exotic, novel type level of healthcare. We're just talking about treating everyone the same. So I think we need to look at these policies and change them and change the way we see them from increasing education to increasing accountability. It's important to realize too that a lot of the things we pinpointed, like in the pain studies, it's not that we have textbooks saying that African Americans don't feel pain the way whites do. And I hope no one is lecturing their students that. They're learning on the clinical floors. When they go to the clinical floors and they see that African Americans are consistently dismissed as being drug seeking rather than having their pain addressed, that's where we have to address the policies that are going to change this.